Mr. V. Krishnamoorthy was born as the eldest son to the Orthodox couple, Mr. Venkataraman and Mrs. Tylamannamal, on 15th March 1917, at Thiruvannamalai. He lost his mother even at his childhood. He was then fostered by his uncle, Mr. Seshachalam, an ardent freedom fighter and a fervent congressman. He used to feed helpless and hapless in his home daily, which persuaded V.K. Anna to serve for the unfortunates in later years. He came out with distinction in his graduation from Annamalai University, and he got his post-graduation at Michigan University, USA. After the completion of his post-graduation, he was in dilemma in choosing his career, whether a village in India or at America. At last, he came to a decision that a village in India was his best choice for his service-minded soul. When he was in a higher position in the education department, he turned up to the call of Gandhiji and relinquished his profession in order to serve in the refugee camps, where thousands of men and women were languishing after religious riots. In the refugee camps of Faridabad and Sevagram, he has gained the friendship of Mrs. Ashta Devi Arya Nayagam, who was an Indian freedom fighter, educationist, and Gandhian, who was closely connected with Sevagram of Mahatma Gandhi. Attracted by the philosophies of Gandhiji, he has committed himself to serve at Sevagram and became a dedicated celebrity to the ideals of Gandhiji with new dimensions. When he was working at Wada refugee camp, he happened to meet Dr. T.S. Soundram, founder of Gandhigram, an Indian physician, social reformer, and politician, and the only daughter of TVS initiator. The meeting with Dr. Soundram has made a turning point both in his life and in the history of Gandhigram. Mr. V. Krishnamoorthy, fondly called as V.K. Anna, who joined later in the services of Gandhigram and worked with Soundram, Amma. Gandhigram was started in 1947. V.K. Anna has joined in Gandhigram as an educationist and toiled for educating rural people. He has been the backbone of the development of educational institutions right from Balwadis to higher education. With the support and blessings of Dr. T.S. Soundram, he raised the education institution to the height of Gandhigram Rural Institute. He used to visit all the villages in and around Gandhigram, along with a team of volunteers and educationists, and brought rural youths in the stream of learning. In addition, he helped to settle many conflicts between the villagers. He was a well-known benefactor and philanthropist. Most of the beneficiaries, who are in better positions today, remember him with gratitude. Besides research and development activities at Gandhigram Rural Institute, he brought out a new dimension to the rural education system, first in India, which led to the Rural Institute in becoming a deemed university. He has constructed many buildings in Gandhigram, particularly in Gandhigram Rural Institute, using the materials that were available in and around Gandhigram. The buildings were built in coherence with that of Laurie Baker, a renowned archaeologist of yesteryears. Viewing the enthusiastic approach of V.K. Anna towards the well-being of rural people, Soundram entrusted the government's rural development scheme to him. He worked day and night, and the development works were undertaken on a war-foot manner. V.K. Anna showed keen interest in meeting the rural poor and imbibed them the art of co-living. He was active in all his endeavors. He lived for the rural people, rural education, and for a holistic rural development throughout his entire life. The beneficiaries of V.K. Anna still remember his gesture and concerns over them. Considering his concern towards underprivileged, a German-based voluntary organization named Action for World Solidarity appointed him as its consultant for India. By the virtue of appointment, he has adopted many villages in and around Gandhigram and started Balwadis for poor kids, with monetary help for its functioning. In 1981, he started Khadi, weaving unit for the weavers who lost their jobs at T. Sabulapuram in Theni district. Now they are happy and remembering V.K. Anna for his timely help on those vulnerable days. Further Adi Dravidas were also imparted in training in Khadi weaving. In 1983, V.K. Anna had constructed about 30 houses to Adi Dravida weavers under Weavers Rehabilitation Scheme. V.K. Anna arranged 50 kgs of maize through ASW at the time of construction of the houses. With a view to develop more villages, he guided his own students of Gandhigram Rural Institute for starting up of NGOs through effective planning and financing through ASW. V.K. Anna was able to bring about great deal of changes in the mindset of workers by encouraging and guiding them. He had unflinching faith in basic education and provided ample opportunities to the students to practice the concept of education through work and experience. He strongly believed in inclusive policy and was mainly instrumental in taking higher education to the doorsteps of hundreds and thousands of rural poor students. He laid a very strong foundation for the Rural Institute, which later emerged as a very strong university, with a vision of creating self-sustained and self-governed rural India. He had strong conviction in basic education and practiced the concept of education for life, education through life and education throughout life. As the principal of the College of Rural Higher Education, he along with his fellow teachers provided man-making education to his students. He himself was a book for many of his students. He set an example not by words but by deeds, and thus inspired thousands of students. He had a very distinct and a total personality. His personality was manifested through his simplicity, easy accessibility, concern for the poor, thorough knowledge in the subject, affection to the fellow teachers, commitment to the cause chosen, and so on. He was a friend, philosopher, and guide to the staff and student community. He loved everyone and was loved by everybody. V.K. Anna was an architect of College of Rural Higher Education and an ardent Gandhian rural reconstructive worker. He was an easily accessible person with affable character. V.K. Anna chose the remote areas of Tamil Nadu and dedicated his life to serve the people. Largely, his work and contribution is known mostly in the grassroots, to some extent in the state of Tamil Nadu. He had been an invisible legend whose sacrifice and commitment to the cause of the underprivileged remains very much localized. It is the time that he is made a visible legend to inspire and motivate the contemporary grassroots workers and their efforts. Here is the person who harmoniously combined and blended together both welfare work and development work, thus going beyond the traditional Gandhian action. Rightly so, M.V. Sastry calls V.K. Anna as the post-Gandhi Gandhian. V.K. Anna's personal lifestyle, his dedication and commitment, his community-centric development approach, his combination of welfare and development, etc., still remain very relevant to today's grassroots development work. He was a good teacher to the students, an affectionate father to the downtrodden, a light to those who were trailing in their lives, a man of kind and sympathy, a personality with mercy on poor and underprivileged. His long and steady journey ended on 13th January 1992. Let us remember his pioneering services towards rural people at large. and for education of all poor during the celebration of his centenary year 1917 and 2017. It is worthy that all of us pray to God, let his soul rest in peace.